So, can you buy a company without a lawyer? Of course you can. Contract law is actually very simple. There's some very simple tests to demonstrate whether or not a contract exists between two people, and the purchase of the shares in a company is simply a contract to purchase those shares. You can use templates, you can draft them yourself, you can write it on the back of a napkin. In fact, a handshake, a verbal agreement, is just as legally binding in law as a 300-page contract drafted by a lawyer. The reason it's written down is so that if there is ever any dispute over what was agreed, a judge can pore through that document and decide what it meant, which also means that intent is a really important part of any agreement or any legal contract that you enter into with people. And so if intent is really important, why not make the intent crystal clear? Use plain English, use simple language, a few paragraphs just to explain exactly what it is you're trying to achieve, so that when you both sign it, there is absolutely no misunderstanding around what the desired outcome of signing that agreement was. Quite the opposite, actually, of most agreements that have been shoved in front of me from M&A lawyers, which are so convoluted and contradictory in places that in fact it would take a judge several months to try and understand what it was they were trying to do, which, if you think about it, lawyers being paid by the hour, there could be something in that they're making a little bit of work for themselves in the future. So I always say to people on the Harbour Club, look, you should always use a lawyer if you don't feel confident or you don't feel competent to do it yourself. But if you do feel confident and you do feel competent, then absolutely a transaction can be done without legal representation, but at your own risk, obviously. So you have to decide whether the risk reward is right, and typically if you're buying a company for a pound or for $1, then you already have asymmetric risk. Your downside is pretty well protected if you're a limited liability company buying another limited liability company. So you might take a view that the cost of legals is therefore prohibitive for the transaction, but of course it's your choice. You decide what you want to do. You need to be big enough and ugly enough to act on your own responsibility, but go out there and go do some deals.